at the Pink Pony Club. Pink Pony Club. Hello! My name is Liz Ashley and welcome to my channel. Today, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite artists, Chappell Roan. Yes. All right. So we're going to be talking about her for a few different reasons today. And one is because when she first kind of blew up after Coachella and the Governor's Ball and everything, even recently, I've been seeing comments being like, oh, is she an industry plant? Same thing that happened to Tate McRae. I have a video about that. Yeah, so we're going to ask the question today, is Chappell Roan an industry plant? If you've been a fan of Chappell Roan for a while, you know she is most definitely not an industry plant. And I will say I'm going to be that person right now. I am going to be that person right now. I did know about Chappell Roan before she blew up. I think it was maybe not super far before. It was maybe like a year. And one of my friends and I, we actually looked up going to her concert because she came to St. Louis. And this was before she blew up. It was kind of already sold out. So that was not gonna happen. But it's funny because when she did blow up, the tickets were even harder to get, which I feel like is going to be something that's gonna happen from now on, which sucks because I wish I could have seen her before that. All right, so Chappell Roan. Chappell Roan is a musician, songwriter, singer-songwriter from Missouri, baby. Yesterday I was watching the DNC and they played when they were doing the delegates and seeing the delegate votes, they played Chappell Roan from Missouri and I started freaking out. I was very excited because she's from Missouri, and the gay bar across the street from where I live is always playing Chappell Roan now because she's from Missouri. So we're proud here in St. Louis of Chappell Roan, even though she's not from St. Louis. She's from Willard, Missouri, but she calls Chappell Roan like her project. A lot of her outfits, a lot of her music, a lot of her how she conducts herself, she takes inspiration from drag queens and pop culture and other musical artists, and so she really is just awesome. She always says, I'm your favorite artist, and that's from the drag queen Sasha Colby, and I'm your favorite drag queen's favorite drag queen. And so that's where that comes from. She blew up after Coachella. She was already going on tour and she already had music out, and so it's funny because now all of her music that she came out with like a year or so ago is now on the Billboard charts and everything like that, because everyone's like, oh my God, which I think is really cool. So her first album that she independently debuted is called The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess. And if you know the song Feminine Nomenon, which I think most people do, it's Feminine Nomenon. She said that she was going to name her album that, but she didn't end up doing it because she was people could barely say it or spell it, and she didn't want to make that as her album, which I think is a great choice. Because I think she said, if you go on Spotify, you can't, how are you going to find it? Which is true. Previously, she actually was signed to a label, but they dropped her because she wasn't getting the numbers that they wanted, which I think is really crazy because she said, well, I'm going to do my own thing. She gave herself a year to make it and to do what she needed to do. And now here she is. And she performed at Coachella. I think the Governor's Ball is really what catapulted her so far, because at the Governor's Ball, she dressed up like the Statue of Liberty, and it was iconic. That was insane. It was so cool. And it was really amazing. And she did so good. But yeah, I think that's really what I think that performance really catapulted her. But she was blowing up before then after Coachella, and she dressed up with the little butterfly, which was, I was like, oh my God, she just looks like glowing. She looked amazing. Also, Good Luck Babe kind of went viral on TikTok, and so that also is what helped her kind of break out. Of course, it was all over my algorithm. She's just a regular girl from Missouri. She is so unique. She is so creative. And I just think that that's why people like her, because, when I did my Katy Perry video, I was like, Katy Perry is trying to be is trying to come back in a time where we have people like Chappell Roan who are being so creative, so unique, and Katy Perry is just doing the same old, you know. It's funny because everyone thinks she just like blew up overnight, but that's not at all what happened. Like, people are saying it about like Tate McRae and Chappell Roan, these people who have worked most of their young lives to get to this point, and she is not an industry plant by any means. And something that has been coming up recently is actually how uncomfortable she's been while like becoming so big and becoming so famous. And that's because there have literally been people like stalking her. And apparently there was like this fan page, and I actually followed them for a while and I didn't realize, but someone who was like an admin on that fan page was like literally stalking her and like figuring out where her family worked, where her sister worked, and all these things. That's like really crazy. Look, and I've said this in other videos. I'm a parasocial bitch myself. I am, okay? The people I'm parasocial with are like Hasanabi. Like, I'm in the Supernatural fandom as well. I went to conventions and did all this stuff and it was really fun. But like, I paid to meet them, you know? And there was there's maybe like 2 times I've seen artists out and I've been like, I've gotten a picture with them and I've asked for a picture. Basically, she just explains how everyone like yelling at her and screaming at her when they see her, asking to take pictures, all these things. She came out with this video and she's like, would you do that to a normal person? She's like, I don't know you, you don't know me. Like, would you do that to a normal person? And she's like, I know it seems normal to do that for celebrities, but it's not normal to me and I don't like it.
I need you to answer questions. Just answer my questions for a second. If you saw a random woman on the street, would you yell at her from the car window? Would you harass her in public? Would you go up to a random lady and say, can I get a photo with you? And she's like, no. And then you get mad at this random lady? Would you be offended if she says no to your time because she has her own time? Would you stalk her family? Would you follow her around? Would you try to dissect her life and bully her online? This is a lady you don't know. And she doesn't know you at all. Would you assume that she's a good person? Assume she's a bad person? Would you assume everything you read about her online is true? I'm a random bitch. You're a random bitch. Just think about that for a second, okay? I don't care that abuse and harassment, stalking, whatever, is a normal thing to do to people who are famous or a little famous, whatever. I don't care that it's normal. I don't care that this crazy type of behavior comes along with the job, the career field I've chosen. That does not make it okay. That doesn't make it normal. That's not normal. That's weird. It's weird how people think that you know a person just because you see them online or you listen to the art they make. I'm allowed to say no to creepy behavior. Okay.
And I don't blame her. And like, you know, I understand how that might be crazy. I will say that like, you know, she has taught me a lot and she has made me think a lot about that too. Because celebrity culture in this country is crazy. Okay, it's crazy. Like, we think we're entitled to their time. We think they're entitled to a lot of different things. And, you know, I thought that for a while too. Like, I went to this like movie opening a long time ago for The Other Guys with Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell. And for the longest time, I have like hated Will Ferrell because even though everyone loves him, which is funny, because when he came to that movie thing, Mark Wahlberg stopped and talked to everyone and took pictures with everyone, and Will Ferrell just walked in and walked up to the podium. And now I thought that that was a little like, okay, I don't know, we've all been standing out here for you and like you didn't do anything. And so for the longest time I hated him. But I have had friends like, you know, even recently be like, you know, you're not entitled to his time, like you're not entitled to that, maybe he was having a bad day. And you know, they're right. And I have rethought it a lot. Actually, I have, you know, changed my opinion on it a lot. And Will Ferrell is doing a documentary about his trans friend and like, you know, everything that they've had to go through. And I think that's great. And I love that he's doing that. So, you know, I've changed my outlook on it a lot too. And she's educated me a lot too. And like, you know, seeing how people treat her and react to her. And like, again, I don't think anyone I think stalking and obsessing is like, like, okay, that's way too far, you know, like, you know, asking for a picture, yelling at her at the middle of the street is also kind of weird. But stuff like that, I get how that's like weird, but like actually like stalking her and like figuring out where her parents and her family works is scary, and no one should do that. And that is way beyond the pale of anything that should be normalized. And so yeah, but I think she's great, and I'm happy she's standing up for herself, and I'm happy she's standing up to people. And I just really love I just really love how she carries herself, and like how she's not afraid to tell people what it is and what she feels. And like even on stage when all this was happening, she was on stage and she was like, you know, I'm sorry, I want to make this a really good show, but like I'm just overwhelmed right now.
I just want to be honest with the crowd, and I just feel a little off today because I think that my career's just kind of gone really fast, and it's really hard to keep up. And so I just being honest that I'm just having a hard time today. This is all I've ever wanted. It's just heavy sometimes.
And a lot of people are like, oh, you wanted this job, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, but she was doing this for so long where it wasn't this big thing. And now all of a sudden she can't live like a normal person. She can't just be this normal person. And she's still pretty young. I couldn't imagine what it would be like to go to the store and people like just like swarming you and not being able to just be a normal person. So I don't blame her. I'm really happy she's standing up, and yeah, she's not an industry plant. She's great, and don't stalk her. All right. Well, that was the video. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Turn on post notifications. Tell me what you know what? If you've made it this far, comment your favorite Chappell Roan song. I want to say Pink Pony Glove. It's so good. But I also really like Good Luck Babe, and Casual is really good. And yeah. All right. Well, tell me what your favorite song is below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.